We are bringing Twisters in 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the Guardian Hub.
You're listening to the Guardian Hub.
You're listening to the Guardian Hub.
You are listening to the Guardian Hub. The best
hub on the net.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the Guardian Hub podcast. This is episode 273, where we ask, have you seen Twisters? Like I switched it up. No. Okay. And Cyn?
Nope, never seen it. I want to now.
Okay. Well, I have.
We know.
We
You bailed
know.
on it. You bailed on us last week because of it.
Yeah.
The wound is still fresh, Kingsley. The
Wound
wound
is fresh.
is still fresh.
That's the thing about this Sunday night. Like I said all along, it's better in some aspects, but when it's bad, it's going to be really bad because sometimes we do things on Sundays. But I still like it, though, in general. Working for you two at all? Let's talk about it live on the show.
It doesn't matter to me that much.
Okay.
We fit it in.
We make it work. Yeah. Until we don't, and then we'll figure out something else. But yeah, tonight we got me, Kingsley Mac. We got Cyn and Kato so far. So welcome. I'm sure we'll have such an exciting show with all the Destiny news, but we definitely have a few things to talk about. And then other things too. Yeah, just a few.
A tidbit.
What is new? Life, Destiny, other games?
Let's see. Let's start at the front of that. Nothing new with life in general. Weather's starting to change finally. Still hot, but we're in the 60s in the morning, so there's that. Destiny. We did Monday night scrims. Yeah, we did scrims last Monday night. Yeah, I don't remember. That was with the Blueberry gig. So,
yep. I think I saw there was a fair amount of people. I'm trying to remember if that's the one you're talking about.
yeah. We did the Yoda raid last night.
Some of
That
it.
was fun. Yeah, some of it. And
Anything
then,
interesting there? I mean, that's obviously the new raid, right?
yeah,
Salvation's Edge and
we let's see. It was Scoot, Edifer, Bell, myself, Cyn, and Yoda. Showing Yoda the new raid. We made it to Verity and then called it for the night. We had third encounter bug out on us a couple times. That was fun. So, yay.
I'm sure it was Cyn's internet, right?
It might have been, honestly.
Hey, rude.
Rude.
I mean,
Can you fully deny it, Cyn, or is there a chance it's true?
no.
Yes, I can deny it.
All right,
Especially
I
when
believe you
somebody
then.
said, hey, I think that's that bug when you close both these pillars at the same time.
It's really annoying. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, there's no bugs in raids, right?
Not
You
at all.
get penalized for being too efficient.
Oh, we've seen that before. I
Mhm.
can't remember specifics off the top of my mind, but well, even in Last Wish, running through the tunnels in the vault room,
Yeah.
sometimes it's safer to just go slower and shoot from a distance rather than run and jump over the enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's a slightly different example, but still, the point's kind of valid.
Yeah. I mean, there is some other gaming news, but there was, what did you guys do this week?
Yeah, let's go to Cyn, and then we'll go to me, and we'll talk about news and stuff.
Hi, my name is Cyn, and
It's Cyn Shady.
yeah. So, like Kato said, the Yoda raid. I actually got to do a little bit more than I did with my first clear. I actually got to close the pillars in the third encounter, which is intriguing. It is nice to kind of see it from that other side, another point of view, versus just sending it and just hearing what's going on, basically. So I got to do that was nice. And then I ended up switching sides on the second encounter, where normally I was in the middle. The few times I had done it with Ed, there I did the right side with Belle, and that was an interesting change of pace. But for the most part, the raid went fairly well, except for that third encounter, like Kato said, bug out. Yeah, and then I did some solstice. Last week? Beginning this week, I can't remember. They all blend together. And that's been about it. Red Death Catalyst. Forgot about that. And no other games for me.
Okay. Nice. We've been having some interesting weather since you brought that up, Kato. It's raining right now again. And usually it can be normal in August to have like the thunderstorms, and they're kind of like these thunderstorms. However, they're cooler than normal. And even getting like a more constant rain rather than like the big thunderstorm, it blasts you and then it leaves pretty quick. So it's kind of odd, but I'm not complaining. It's about 70 degrees right now, so a little bit on the odd side. But that's been interesting. I went to, I potentially could have been raiding with you guys last night or whatever, but I went to a comedy club with the wife to see Angela Johnson, old school comedian that many of you may recognize the name. She did the famous nail salon bit. If you're not sure, look that up. It's hilarious. And she was touring and in Salt Lake. So I know the wife wanted to see that. So she had it on the books for a while and saw that last night. That was pretty cool. I was on the latest GDC podcast with Gator, helping him co-host. That'll be out this weekend by the time you hear this ish. And so check that out. We talked a lot about what we think Bungie can do, and also, I try to keep the realistic point of view while he's the dreamer. And then we also talked about different gaming styles again. I always love talking about personality things, but like how it's okay why some people might leave Destiny quicker than others, because right now in Destiny, there's mostly only triumphs or routines or bounties or things like that to do. It's not a lot of new stuff. So for people that like new stuff, a lot of us are checking out other games. And in Destiny, I didn't do too much. I do want to complain about a couple things. I wasn't expecting Solstice to be any different, but since it's not, here's my plea again, Bungie, please. If anything, you can start working on is these same old yearly seasonal events that happen. Solstice has been the same forever. The Halloween one's been the same forever. The Christmas one's been the same forever. Maybe change it up a little bit. I just feel like since there's not too much they're adding in other parts of the game, then maybe they can potentially work on this. It could be a priority now, although maybe that's not realistic. I don't care that much, but it would be nice. But my main complaint, it really has me kind of pissed off. I don't know why this is bugging me so much.
Hot take.
Yes. I got hit by the Guardian name change.
Oh, that is a thing, isn't it?
Really annoys me. Okay, so I probably shouldn't have logged in as quickly as I did, but I was reading some of the things that came out. What did this happen? Like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this last week?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought Thursday, and it was saying that some people, when they were logging in, their names were being changed, and it's not because you had a crazy name. I didn't have a crazy name. I've had this name forever. Kingsley Mac, there's nothing in there that's should be changed to Guardian. So I wanted to see if it was affecting me. And I also want, usually being in the know and trying to look at things quickly, you're going to be better off. So I figured, okay, my name changed. I'll try to change it back as quickly as possible. Just be ahead of the curve, whatever. Well, a couple things were going on there. First of all, there was no way to change it back yet because maybe systems were still broken. I should have still had a free name change. I don't know if I totally did or not, but regardless, they weren't letting me change it back. But also because of probably just issues they're having. And then come to find out a little bit later that day or the next day, they're like, well, we fixed an issue where it won't continue to happen to more people. Oh, dang it. Maybe I should have waited to log in. It wouldn't have happened. I know not everyone that logged in had that issue, but maybe if I would have waited, I wouldn't have it. Because now the latest news is it's going to take them a while, quote unquote, to fix it, to give us to give us a free name change back. And so how long, Bungie? I don't like being
Oh.
Guardian 8902.
I just checked my list. That's
No.
When there's
funny,
not
but
stuff to do in the game, whatever. That's like, but like changing my name is kind of annoying, kind of like an intimate annoyance.
It's an
Like,
identity crisis.
yeah. At least it still keeps everyone's as friends. So, Cyn, you have a friend called Guardian 8902. Kato, yeah, everyone can see me as that.
Oh, I looked the other night. I think it was Friday night, potentially. Somewhere in there. To see who all on my friends list has been hit with the Guardian. There's only 3 of you.
Yeah.
It's you, Sweaty, and RNG are the 3 on my friends list that got hit with it.
Yeah. Oh, a
So
live update. I just turned in an Eververse Ingram, and I got a exotic emote, the gold fist bump emote. It's not
Nice.
often you get a good emote.
True.
So Bungie must have heard me complaining. They're like, "This is the best we can do for you for now."
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, this one's not bad too. I kind of like it. Ghost fist bump.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm 5% less upset now, but still, let's get
only
this fixed.
5.
Only 5.
It's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah, better than nothing. I'm not deleting the game or anything. That's just absurd. I mean, unless I need to temporarily make space for something. But I think until the game's totally dead, it's going to stay on my hard drive. And what do we got? We got 1 week or 2 weeks till the next act.
2,
I think, right? Because Solstice just started.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's see. In game, season pass. Oh, 1 week. We got 8 days as of where we're recording this. Okay. Well, there'll be some stuff to do then for a while. And hey, we have the exotic mission coming up.
Wait, there's a mission?
Yeah, we've been saying that, Cyn. We have an exotic mission. We didn't know at the very beginning, I think, which act it was coming in, but we eventually found out in the 3rd act for this episode, we're having an exotic mission along with the normal storyline. And then episode 2 and 3 are supposedly both going to be dungeons because they said we're getting 2 dungeons within the Destiny. Is that something?
Ooh.
But it sounds
Hopefully
like
good
all of
ones.
us didn't do too much. Oh, I did also hop in 8v8 Sparrow Control. Yeah, look at me in Crucible. Now, this is a chaos mode, so why I wanted to check it out. Did any of you hop in 8v8 with 16 Guardians?
No.
That's fine. Did you even know about it, Cyn? You sound like you didn't.
I saw that somebody posted and maybe posted about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
But never jumped in.
Supposedly it was only this weekend because they were kind of promoting it at GCX, and it's in the Crucible Labs. I'll see if it's still listed right now. But, I wasn't expecting much. I just wanted to see what it was. It sounded like a fun party mode. And I had mixed experiences with it. Yeah, it is gone already. Here's the thing. As probably some of you know already, if you have hopped in the other Sparrow Control, people aren't usually getting on the Sparrows except for at the very, very beginning just to get that first cap point real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And it just turns into normal control. And that's okay because even with that, I just liked having 16 people on the map. I liked the chaos that it had. I mean, it kind of got people to run as packs even more so. And I remember on one map, I knew people were going to be coming for B. I forget which one it was. It was one of the outside Earth maps. And there's a lot of where the B cap points on a top floor of an outside crumbling building. And then if anyone knows the name of that, or if he knows what I'm talking about, but you can go underneath it. And so everyone from the other team, including our team was coming from the one side, their team was coming from the other side. And so I figured they were all going to be mostly trying to shoot at distance or all jump up on the point and go at each other. I was the only one that went underneath and no one was paying attention. And I actually capped off 3 people from the other team as they were running up, but just not even focusing on. Now, I'm sure, I'm not saying I'm all good or anything, but probably the other team were newer players or didn't know what they were doing, but it was still kind of fun to do that. But then on the 3rd or 4th map, and it was the moon one, the one kind of like the Crota moon one. I forget what it's called. I don't know if it has anything to do with the Crota, but anyways, it's used for trials a lot, I know. And that one, a lot of people on the other team actually were on the Sparrow the whole time. And they must have been pretty good at practicing it because they were killing me a lot and other people a lot by just slamming us into walls with their Sparrow.
It's one of those maps that it's good for.
Yeah.
You get all the corners and tight spaces.
Yeah.
I mean, it is quite fun going in on your Sparrow. Just sideswiping or just whipping it around to sling a Guardian into the wall. Like, it's kind of fun. But
Or if we had the big maps like the one in Destiny 1 that actually had you could hop on the other thing, not the Sparrow, but the other thing that we don't use anymore, really, that the Cabal use. That it's in some of the strikes. Anyways, that's where we got our Galhorn. Remember the Mission 2 Cyn, that big Crucible map? And if we had a big map like that in Destiny 2, like with this mode, I could see the 8v8 working even better and people using their Sparrows more to get around.
I remember there being a big map in Destiny 1, but I came into it late, if you recall. So I just remember I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember there was a.
Yeah. Well, and again, that's where everyone got the Iron Galhorn, because most people didn't have the original Galhorn, and the mission ended on that Crucible map, but it was like a PvE version of it. Pikes and tanks we could actually load into. We could actually use different vehicles on that map. Anyways, not important in the name. Maybe if I see it, I'll mention it here. But yeah, so that was a thing. I want to give a shout out to Priceless Cloud, who joined, and just because she was talking smack, I told her I would say how I was above her on every match. Love you. But I'm not very good, so I was middle. I'm just happy being middle of the pack every time. So
nice.
Other games, I do want to talk about some things. You got any news, Kato, or things you're interested in?
Two things. Unfortunately, Throne and Liberty has now been pushed back to October 1st release date.
Okay.
Set up September 17th. We are pushed back to the 1st of October. It's upsetting, but it is what it is. I don't remember why they pushed it. I don't think it's a relevant reason what they gave us. I think they were just trying to find an excuse for whatever. And then we have an official gameplay trailer for Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which comes out on October 31st. I'm excited for that. That's like all the news I had.
Okay. But you're not really. Are you playing any other games other than I know the mobile ones don't count, but on your computer?
No. Honestly, I've just been watching different shows, spending time doing nothing. Most of this week, I've just kind of been just chilling, hanging out. Nothing really caught my interest that I wanted to go play. I did a couple days ago re-download and bought. I bought and then downloaded all 3 previous Dragon Age games because I've got 2 months now before the 4th one comes out. So, and they were on sale on Steam. I bought all 3 games. The Ultimate Edition or Game of the Year Edition. All 3 of them were under $10 total. So there's that.
We also have an update that Belle has been crying since the news. Also,
yeah.
Live update, Danger in the chat.
That.
So I think Dragon Age was on the Epic Game Store at one point because I remember downloading it but never jumped into it.
Yeah, it's single player RPG that it's a lot of fun. Really good story. I mean, first Dragon Age came out in like 2009, so yeah. I mean, if you can deal with the 2009 graphics, I mean, they're definitely fun to play.
Yeah, it might be one I can put on my list too because I haven't played any of those.
I think the sale on Steam runs to. Well, let me look. I just looked at this. Stop the video. Thank you. Oh, it's a special promotion that ends in 16 hours. So, yeah.
Okay.
If you want it, go and get it.
Pretty much, it's 90% off. So all 3 games are that 90% off.
Yeah.
It was like I guess it was a weekend sale. Interesting.
I'll have to check that out. Well, a couple pieces of news on my side, things I'm looking forward to, and I'll talk about a game I started. Um, I was kind of eyeing this one game. I'm like, what is this game about? And then I watched some gameplay and heard some much more interested now. Black Myth Wukong. Anyone
Sounds
following
familiar.
that? It's
Heard of it.
definitely an action RPG type game. It based on like Chinese mythology and different things like that, and the gameplay looks so freaking the fights that you do, and it's just like a AAA game. It's like with a big storyline. They say it's more linear, not so much open world. Getting really good reviews. The couple things that the only issues that are having, and they think some of these will be fixed on actual release because the pre-release, doesn't get the day one patch. But a couple technical issues with some of the boss fights and the world environment, so they need to fix some of that. And then how there's no map. Again, it's not really an open world so much as it's more linear. So sometimes they're saying you don't really need a map, but there is a lot of like collectibles and secret things. So then some people would like a map. And I was watching one gameplay where like, well, when you don't have a map, even if things are linear, you're going to see areas where you think you can jump over here or on top of something, but really that's the invisible wall that if you looked at a map, you would know, you know? But since they don't have a map, that can be frustrating when you're just exploring around. And I can feel that. I could feel maybe being annoyed by that.
Yeah.
But I'm still really interested and excited, and it's getting an average 8 to 85% right now, and 80 to 85% out of 100. So generally pretty good reviews by a newer studio, I think they said, Game Science. And yeah, definitely check it out. I mean, it looks like amazing. They have things where when you defeat certain bosses, you can actually not just take over their powers, but like look like that boss for a little bit when you're fighting a future battle with another boss. And that comes out August 20th, so 2 days from now as of recording this. And then I'm also still excited for Star Wars Outlaws, which comes out the 30th, but 27th if you pre-order. I mean, I have Ubisoft Plus still, so I'll be getting it then, and I'll give a review what it's like. Definitely excited to check that out. And then, so we're all of a sudden in a period of time where, I mean, it's always like this. There's older games we can play, but I went from not playing video games as much the last few weeks or month or so to I was watching a lot of TV also.
Right.
But now I feel like overloaded because there's so many things I want to do. There's these 2 games coming out soon, and then I bought the Mass Effect Legendary Edition a few weeks ago, and I haven't gotten very far in that, and that's been fairly fun, even though I know the first one isn't as good as the second one, but still kind of just learning the story and going through it. And then I started No Man's Sky. I'll give you my mini review so far, but first I do want to say one thing. This game is gaining a lot more interest among friends in our community and even out of our community than I thought. For some reason, there's certain games Destiny players will check out more than others. I mean, there's always the ones like we're talking about Throne and Liberty and stuff like that. But, a common one people talk about is Warframe or this or that. But for some reason, just within the last couple weeks, especially the last week, a lot of people are talking about No Man's Sky. In fact, because this will be coming out on the latest, I can kind of give a teaser here. Even people like Gator downloaded it and started playing it some, and it's just crazy how this game that's been out for 7-8 years has a revamp. Now I know one big reason why, because they came out with a big update in July, their 5.0 update, and supposedly it's one of the best updates yet. Since I never played the game before, I've always been interested in it, but I kind of like how I'm coming into it now. Just like Cyberpunk, I didn't come into it until it was good. And this game is pretty cool so far. I have to say, I'm impressed with the layout of the menus and all the different resources and materials and crafting things you can do. It's maybe a little overwhelming at first, but the tutorials do a pretty good job of guiding you through it. And every little thing you hover over does a really good job of telling you its purpose and how to put it into other things. I feel like I can't really explain it, but they do a better job than even most games. There's some linear storylines to it, but ultimately it's a game where you're going to be exploring and or building things. Now, for me, in the long run, I could get bored of the building things. I'm not like a Minecraft guy or a build this or build that. I'm definitely not going to be one of these people that builds like some huge base or world or things. And shout out to those people that do. Belle was showing me a world that looked like a Japanese like garden and all these like dojos and like places that you could explore so you can view other people's areas. But I think I'm going to be more into the checking out the different worlds, seeing what's different on each one, doing some light combat, maybe collecting some resources, upgrading my ships. And I don't know how long it'll keep my interest, but I have to say there is something that's a little bit different about this game and quite interesting that I'm playing it for now. And it's even with some annoying things that they add at the very beginning on these harsh environments in these worlds, and you have to recharge your suit to protect against the ice or the toxicity or whatever, and you got to quickly learn in the game to go back into your ship or build a building that you can go into to stay safe. And it's kind of like a little annoying because I want to be able to take my time because I'm like, I can't go out and explore too much until I know I have these safeties. But in a way, it's making me appreciate it more too. Almost like it's more realistic. I don't know if that would be realistic or not, if people are actually exploring planets, but so I like it
Now,
so
did
far.
you get it on Game Pass?
No, I was considering it, but you can get CD keys right now for only $25. So I figured since I don't do much on Game Pass, and I pretty much was guessing I would like this game enough, I didn't want to like get it on Game Pass and then if I liked it, have to keep paying for it month after month. So this one I did buy since you can find a sale on it. But if you're not sure at all, definitely check it out on Game Pass. Yeah, any interest in all, Cyn?
I remember like when it came out, somebody that I was working with at the time mentioned it, and then it like completely flopped, like right during its initial release. And that game's been out for a while now.
Yeah, 7, almost 8 years. For some people, it didn't completely flop. I mean, people like Muffin had played it way back, and she said she always liked it. I know Ed and Belle and Scoot play it, and people in other communities. I think is Sweaty playing it. I think saw him play it. I'm not saying like you got to check it out, but it is something to consider. Danger in the chat saying he loves it, so definitely worth in a lot of our discords now kind of having more conversation about it as a potential thing. I just want to figure out what, if I do play it long term, what's going to scratch my itch. I think it's going to be more because I don't like the menial tasks of just collecting resources, and I know you can automate that eventually by building bases and building higher or getting higher end ships that can kind of do automated tasks for you. So I'm excited to get to that point. But I think I like the idea of just since the planets are procedurally generated, like you can explore place after place and kind of have new experiences. And then if you get bored of one planet, just go to another one and just explore something else. So take that for what it's worth.
Magical.
All right. So that's what we've been doing. That's what we're looking forward to. Games. What else about Destiny do we have? I mean, we talked about the new act is coming up in one more week. I actually do want to talk about a build that I've been a couple builds I've been looking at, and then we have maybe a little bit of news for the TWID.
Small thing for the TWID.
Small amount.
Yeah.
Let's do the TWID first. One of the things I'm going to talk about, even one of these builds I was interested in, got nerfed a little bit with the latest patch. Just kind of too bad, but it makes sense also.
Okay. Let's see TWID.
TWID. I'm pulling it up here too.
GCX is here. Okay. 8v8 spare control. It'll be coming back August 27th if you didn't get it this time. Zer. Here's the biggest thing in the TWID. Destiny 2 update 8.5.0.2 coming on August 20th. Zer's inventory is getting a small update. A wild card offer that featured ritual engrams, exotic ciphers, and raid banners will be moved to Zer's strange offers category to make room each week for an exotic class item or an exotic cipher. Exotic class item and items on Xur will cost 41 strange coins, will have random rolls. The only requirement to get them is to have unlocked regular acquisition path through Dual Destiny for each character. If not offered, the alternative is an exotic cipher, which will cost 79 strange coins and will be limited to one per account.
Well, what do we feel about this? I mean, my initial impression is this doesn't really seem that much better because it still can be a pain to earn strange coins and there's still random rolls. But am I missing something?
Hold on. Xur will be guaranteed to sell exotic class items for the first week this category is available on August 23rd. But every week afterwards, he will return to his RNG ways, will is on his own. So it's not even a guaranteed thing. Like, you get 1 week, this upcoming week, where it is a guaranteed thing to be able to purchase exotic class items.
And they're random. And
it's
then
random.
You won't even have it every week.
But if you have a bunch of strange coins, potentially you could just buy a bunch. Potentially.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, I get that. So if I build up a lot of strange coins, not
Right.
buying other things, eventually maybe I'll go in there. Now, as of right now, I have one of the god rolls that I want, so I'm doubly not as interested. But yeah, this could be a good thing down the road.
But the fact that it's not going to be a permanent thing, it's going to be a random thing. Why even put it there? Like,
yeah, people are going to forget. People are going to be like, I don't know.
It's not
It
even
is
that.
weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's like,
oh,
it seems like hopefully they didn't spend a lot of time on developing this because this does not seem worth what they did.
no. Like, they're already offering exotics. Just put the exotic class item as an option every week. Just make it a permanent thing. It'll be fine.
Are you in game, Cyn? How many strange coins do you have right now?
need
I
to
have
look.
81 as of right now, and that's only because I have been doing some Crucible and strikes the last couple weeks, just a little bit. But before
Okay.
that, I was like, yeah, I don't want.
Don't they cap out at
99.
Yeah, where did
What
they
was
cap out?
99?
99. Yeah, that makes sense.
Pretty sure.
So, and if one costs 41, yeah, that's annoying too. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe they should cap out at a couple
And I
hundred,
think you can
500,
only-
even 999.
Well, Cyn, do they cap out at 99?
Or do you think you just
Yes.
coincidentally ended there?
Yeah, it's got that gold square
so it is
around
capped.
it that they're capped. Yeah, max.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can carry or hold more than one stack of them either.
Nope, I would assume not, because all I got is the one. And I played the crap out of Gambit. The other one, it was double points or whatever, double your progression. And I hadn't played it in a while, so I just ran it over and over.
Well,
Well, there you
well,
go.
you get to buy 2 of them. Yeah. Either way. They let us know that this week's Trials weapon will be back again next week, just on a different map. They have a skateboard for sale,
Yeah.
apparently.
A skateboard?
Yep.
What you mean?
Check it out, Sid.
I mean, it's cool, but I don't know. Known issues, nothing big there. Art of the week, kind of cool. Video or movie of the week. That's it.
That's it.
Not a lot.
Yeah, not really a lot. We'll see how things keep going with Destiny, but I will definitely be excited about next week. Well, a week from now ish, when there's some new content again. But boy, again,
you're not
there'll be
talking
a lot
about
of
in the
other things.
Eververse store for the skateboard. You're talking about a real skateboard.
Yes, I'm talking about a real skateboard.
Oh yeah,
In the
that's
twi-
nonsense. I don't want that.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
the fuck did you think I meant?
In game. I thought it was in game. You fooled me.
yeah. I'm curious on the price now because it's a limited run with 1,000 units. Visit the store. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, 90. I would have actually almost expected to be a lot more.
Oh.
Dude, I'm almost interested in ordering this just for hanging it up or something.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, not that I would use it.
Mhm.
It looks like it's good quality wood, and the designs on it are pretty cool. That is interesting. Okay, well, 90 plus it'll probably be like $50 shipping.
Yeah, you can't
With all
forget the
said and
shipping.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay, so if we're done on that,
Yep.
It kind of leads into a little bit about the exotic class items, and I was looking at some super damage testing that was done recently by Estacross, and even some of it's already a little out of date because there was a recent update that did nerf the Warlock exotic class item as far as Star Eater. You're not getting super bonus damage on the ignitions anymore because that was one thing that was really pushing it over the edge. Now, even with removing this, it's still good. It's still probably one of the best rolls to get. So kind of what you want on the Warlock is Apotheosis and Star Eaters together. Because as we know, Star Eaters increases, you get the orbs ahead of time and you get bonus super damage. Apotheosis gives you extra immediate and instant grenade and melee abilities for like 8 seconds or so after your supers. And I mean immediate. You can throw grenade, melee, throw grenade, melee, throw grenade, melee. I think like 4 each, something like that. 3 or 4 each. So with those things all together, we're running some super damage numbers that were showing like 2.4, 2.5 mil with Warlock. And it's pretty fun builds. The TLDR, just check out the video if you want to watch them. But Nova Bomb is back on the table for being up there. That one was about 2 mil. And what you do is all of these, you want the prismatic, or I mean, the new, prismatic subclass. But you can have the one and done with Nova Bomb, where you do want to debuff with the Vortex Grenade and use your class ability and then throw the Nova Bomb and then do the melee grenade for a few seconds. And then that's kind of your one and done with a couple of those extra caveats. And then you just switch to your heavy or whatever. But the Song of Flame, and I don't know what the new numbers are going to show, but that was even giving more total DPS. And he's including in these little melee and grenade things because they're kind of part of the super, because the exotic item says you get that once you use your super, so it's kind of counting for total DPS. And with the Song of Flame one, basically you do the Phoenix Dive, you get your Solar Buddy, the Helion, and then you also have the ability for all the ignitions when you're doing Song of Flame, when you pop your super. But the funny thing is you just want to do melee the whole time with the Incinerator Snap, because people found out that you get more total DPS with that, even though the grenade little bird that goes, it's like pretty cool and it does a lot of damage, but that's more for that's better for if you're kind of just doing it as a roaming super where you're hitting enemies here and there. But for total DPS, it was found out, especially with the Star Eater buff with the ignitions, that if you kept spamming melee Incinerator Snap over and over and over, the DPS was insane with these numbers of getting like 2.5 mil on a Warlock. So I don't know what the numbers will be now that ignitions aren't getting that buff anymore, but it still is kind of fun. And little things like this kind of gets me interested in the game again. I don't know what I'm going to use it on. I haven't hopped in a raid yet, but I have it in my toolkit ready to use.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, again, Warlocks have just been super fun with Prismatic since Final Shape came out, and they've been pretty good as a class out there to use. I understand everyone likes Warlock, but I've been really happy with Warlock where it's at right now. So it's just a little bonus.
Very nice.
You ready to move off of Warlock, Cyn? Or, I mean, Titan?
No, I still like my Titan. I hold my own with it.
Yes, you do.
Put me on something else, I probably would die much more.
All the time.
All the time.
Well, Warlock and Titan jumps are similar-ish. A lot of times people have problems when they haven't run Hunter and then they move to that, or Hunter and then moving to something like Warlock, if you're used to one or the other.
Yeah, I could see that. They aren't much different, but Warlocks are a little more floofy.
Well, of course they're more floofy. Titans, you get that forward momentum, and you don't really get the height as easily, and that's where I always mess up. I do appreciate the Hunter jump, though. I've never really had much of an issue getting used to it, and there's a lot of like get out of jail card things with how you do your jump. I mean, yeah, you got to in your mind map it out better where you're going to land and know how each jump, what kind of curve it's getting, as opposed to like a Warlock, you can just kind of figure it out after the fact and land down slowly if you need. But it's kind of nice too, because certain jumping puzzles you can kind of just go this way, now this way, now that way, all in the same jump amount. Versus Warlock, you're going the wrong way at the beginning, you're just going to bump into the wall and it's super annoying, you can't recover. So there are benefits there for sure. All right, what else? Anything else? Otherwise, we can start keep it this short and sweet. What are you working on in the game and looking forward to? Cyn, you mentioned a few things, I think.
What? Oh, before we started? No, I was working on Red Death here a little bit tonight. I'm a little over 50%. I've just been putzing around, checking off some triumphs. I thought about doing the feathers. I'm missing one prismatic unlock to complete all of them, and it's one of the boss rooms. The boss room where at the end you have to run and the plates disappear. There's apparently a chest in that boss room at right at the end where where the pathway starts to disappear on you, and I have not gotten that one yet.
Okay.
So
And do
I
you
gotta
still
go
have
do
a
that.
desire for getting? It sounds like I think I know the answer. Yes, but you still have a desire for kind of triumph chasing and little check off things here and there.
Yeah, I mean it keeps me doing something, right? There isn't a whole lot else keeping me
Well,
active
do you enjoy
otherwise.
it though? Yeah, you can do stuff that you don't enjoy, but do you truly, truly enjoy it deep down, or do you just doing it like you feel like you need to, like homework or something?
I don't feel like I necessarily need to. Like I've debated whether or not I was going to go for these titles for either the season or the Pale Heart. But if the content's going to be super light, I don't know. There isn't much in other games that I've found that I'd really want to play, and then having the motivation to go and play them. So if I'm getting on, I'd rather play Destiny as of right now, at least until I find something that I enjoy playing on the downtime.
Yeah,
And Jackbox
no
Party
worries.
doesn't count.
And this is kind of some fun news there. This is kind of like what I was talking about on the latest. Also, is like, sometimes do people play a game begrudgingly for too long without admitting it? That's when you can get true burnout. Like I would hate for, I just want people to be true with what they enjoy. If you really are okay with running bounties and going for triumphs, then that's great. But I know people, and I know for myself, but I don't let myself do this. But if you don't enjoy that as much, and then you feel like you have to do those things, and then you can get burnout over time. So it's just really good to kind of know what your play style is and what you like to do.
Yeah, and I can see that. I don't necessarily like doing the bounties, which is why I'm kind of indifferent about having to go and do all the BS for Solstice. The only thing that I've gotten from Solstice is the shirt. I've ordered the shirt, I think, I'm pretty sure every year. Maybe I didn't do last year's, but for the most part, I've ordered a shirt every time they've had it, and I've gotten how many now have they had the shirt? Has it been
What?
5 or 6?
Oh, that's just
If it's six, I missed last year's, but I've gotten the 5 prior, and then I haven't. I need to order another shadow box, but what I've done with them was hang them on the wall and use them as decorations.
Okay.
So I don't wear them. They're inexpensive enough, and it's decor for my gaming office or
of course, yeah.
man cave.
Yeah, but like all three of us, we don't play other characters, right? I mean, I'm sure there's times where I know in the
We
past.
have, but
I mean, yeah, we have. I mean, we can, but we don't main. We don't. We pretty much just main the one, right? We don't
right.
go through everything on a second and a third, unless we begrudgingly have to do something maybe to kind of get an ability for I don't know down the road. But I guess what I'm getting at is like there has been times in the past where I've done another character, mostly in Destiny 1, actually, just to kind of experience all the stories again. It's one of the only ways you could do it, actually. And just to kind of learn something new. But I've done that less from always in Destiny 2 because to me, it's not really interesting doing these things even a second and a third time. Even the great version of Final Shape. See, we were already having to do this anyways with the co-op missions and this and that and getting the extra fragments. And so it's like, I don't really want to grind everything again on a second and a third character.
Yeah.
But some people like that. It's kind of you're going through it again and again, and it's like experience it again, checking things off. If it's there, it's like you want to get it. You get the solstice completed on one character. You're like, I actually would like to complete it on another character. Not me personally, but I'm saying that for someone. And it's definitely interesting, different play styles where that can happen. That's why people that enjoy doing kind of routine things, even when Destiny has downtimes, they don't care because they have stuff they can catch up on. To me, I think it's pointless stuff I never needed to catch up on in the first place, but I get that. It's kind of, that's why people will feel FOMO more so. They're like, oh, all this stuff and Solstice is only for 3 weeks. How am I going to run it all on my 3 characters? I'm like, well, why do you want to run it on all 3 of your characters? Like,
Right.
so it's different for everyone.
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do it on all 3 characters. I barely want to do it on my Titan.
And I for sure don't want to do it on my Warlock, at least this year. I don't know. I like how the way, if I was doing it, I saw how they kind of have those in-screen bounties on the item to get the armor pieces. And I think that was pretty good how they decided to do it this year. But I did it like once just to hop in and see, and I haven't done it anymore.
Yeah, I haven't done it either.
Well,
I've done
that's
a few.
okay. Yeah.
I did find a feather just now that I haven't gotten. It was on a
Yep,
branch in the landing.
You have your feathers to go after. Get
We
it
still
done.
have 4-minute cyst runs if I want to go for the title.
I don't
That
know.
kinda-
Like I might be able to have a little interest now, Cyn, if we try to group up or get even more people, like a third. I really didn't have desire in that at all, but now that it's like still there, I have small desire at least getting those done.
I mean, it was like what? Those moon time trials that we didn't do when they first came out. And
I
then
still
went
think
back
I haven't
after
done all of them.
Really?
Have they?
I'm pretty sure you have.
I remember Kato was part of some of them too. Were we doing them just to get them all done?
Oh, the triumphs for
The moon for the time trials for those things.
how we got all this stuff.
Okay, my bad. But let me see. Now I want to see. For some reason, I was thinking I still didn't have the title or get everything done. Was I missing some other BS? I think.
That
I
could
know
be.
I'm missing some BS for the moon, but
I'm pretty sure I'm missing some BS for the moon. I'm kind of feeling salty about this, and I'm going to look it up now. While let's see titles. Where's the moon, Cyn?
On the map.
On the map, Shadowkeep. I definitely do not have the title. Okay.
Nope.
Complete any Nightmare Hound on Master without dying. I feel like I could get that done, but it's the Lunar Rover. I think I don't have all those badges, and there's probably something there that's annoying. I don't know. It's not super important right now, but yeah, I don't have a couple shaders, and I don't know if those were like a unique thing to get.
yeah.
And the ship, I don't have the ship either. But that's from the dungeon thing. That wouldn't be that hard completing it without dying. I don't know. But in a way, I don't care. Shadowkeep is kind of like I never even loved that one in the first place. It'd be fine if they get rid of it. Just we talk about this so much, and maybe our opinions change from time to time. But let's assume, okay, we know they're not making a Destiny 3, and we can be really quick on this. But do you think that what should they do with Destiny 2? Should they try to bring back more old stuff and appease people that want to play that again, and even like have it be for newer people, it'd be semi-new content? Or do you think they should focus on the new player experience or something else? They can't do that much. Now they have a smaller development team. We're not talking expansions. There's no big expansions coming out anytime soon. So what can they do to keep us interested?
I don't know. I mean, focusing on the new player experience, you're not focusing on keeping it interesting for players that have already been there for a while. You're focusing on bringing players in and at that point and try to increase revenue. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Warcraft or Warframe, no, not Warcraft. Warcraft has been around for so long and has come out with multiple expansions and updates, and it's one big world. I don't know. I think maybe for me, you keep everything really in game is probably the only way that you would even have a shot of, enticing the people for the most part to stay. I mean, bringing back the old raids. I mean, for me, if you brought back the old raids, I'd be happy. I'd have a little bit more something to do, right? Instead of trying to grind these triumphs. I don't really know what they could do at this point. I've never been creative in that aspect.
Yeah. Can you believe the discussion's coming up again? few more people are actually okay now with the idea of sunsetting weapons. I'm like, oh my gosh, people! I was okay with this from day one, and they think like, well, here's what can happen. I'm like, oh yeah, right, because this was the idea all along too, but no one liked it. If because we have so many weapons, right? So if they start sunsetting things and then really make a meaningful, these are the weapons we're going for now. This is kind of it. You really need to get these because this is it, instead of like, oh, we have a million other good weapons or new weapons also. And at least it would be something you have to really kind of have to grind for if you want to have some new good weapons. I would have been okay with that back then, and then I would be okay with it going forward. You're laughing, Kato. What do you think?
I mean, personally, I do feel like we have too many weapons, but I don't. Sunsetting, not necessarily the way to go here. It's more we have crafting, but we have a very shitty crafting system. Fix the crafting system we have. Instead of, oh, we can craft this gun or this gun or this gun, just craft a frame of a certain RPM. Give us the perks. Make the skin be the difference. So then you're actually wanting to grind for these weapons like other fucking games. Instead of get the patterns by RNG. Yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, and then, but if you're going for, so I think I understand what you're saying. If you're going for a certain frame, maybe that grind will be a little bit long at first, but then once you get those few perfect frames that you want, there's not going to be much of a reason to go for more weapons, right? Because you got it, other than, of course, skins or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
good weapons eventually, and then you're good. You don't really crave more.
Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do this because we're getting too many weapons now. It's getting absurd. But we're just getting the same weapons over and over again.
Yeah, and there's a precedent set, even though I'm not a collector and I'm not sentimental with my weapons, but I do feel like, Destiny set that precedence from day one that you get to keep all your weapons. So I understand why people were getting upset with the sunsetting. That's why, in a way, if they were going to move to a new system, it'd be easier to understand and explain in a whole new game.
Mm-hmm.
With something totally different. I don't know. It's an interesting one. And then with content, I don't know what they could do. I feel like it's kind of almost a lose-lose thing where they have less. They're promising us less and less in a way. Even when you think about Frontiers, the rumors, we'll find out what really is going on with Frontiers at some point, but the rumors don't look good. And I agree, Cyn, like focusing on the new player experience, I don't think is the best move. I mean, you should some, but like, let's take, for example, like bringing in like the Red War campaign, was taken out and new players may not know everything going on. But if you think about it, new players are going to care because they didn't know about that in the first place. I think that's more us players that have been in the game feeling sorry for the new players not knowing what's going on. So I don't know how much that would really add. Like, let's put it a different way. If you're considering the game Destiny, but you've never played it before, you don't know what the new player experience is. But let's say you're like, okay, maybe, and then all of a sudden Bungie's marketing's like, we've added the original story back in Red War campaign. You think that's going to make the new player go all of a sudden, oh, Red War campaign's back? I don't know what that is. No, I'm going to for sure get the game. I just don't know. Like, they didn't know what that was in the first place,
Exactly. And sunsetting, I could see it being a viable option in lieu of resetting and making a third iteration of the game. That is the only reason that it could be an option, right? I don't know. I've always, so I don't think they had it in, and I don't play enough of Diablo 4, but Diablo 3 had set items where you could get these green, almost exotic like armor pieces, and the more you got, the more perks or benefits you got. Maybe something like that, kind of, but not really.
Like increasing like the seasonal armor or whatever, like increased chance, or like garden, like some raid armors where like you get an increased amount for each piece that you have. But yeah, no like super transformer ability, like when you get all 5, that's something different.
Right, exactly. And then maybe be able to craft armor. Why don't we unlock that? I mean, there's so much that they could still do.
Yeah.
To I think make a better experience. I don't know if it's going to bring everybody back. They might be too far gone for that, but there are things they could do. Bring back all the content. Let's totally break the game. Sunset a bunch of crap. Maybe bring back bring back all the content, all the raids, bring us Wrath, armor crafting, armor set pieces, and let's go ham. Let's make this a new game, and if shit gets broken, oh well, fix it then. But stuff is always broken in a new game anyway, so why not? Let's go ham.
I like the broken idea when I combine it with one idea that I had. I mean, I would love if there could be more procedurally generated stuff in Destiny. Now that can't happen unless they totally change the engine, change the guts of the game. Everything they add in the game, they have to actually create. Even when they're bringing back old stuff, they have to put it in, make sure it works, and then update the graphics a little bit so they're still kind of creating something. But truly procedurally generated stuff, like No Man's Sky or other games, where you just create the ability to be procedurally generated and then the game takes care of the rest. But imagine if we had more truly random procedurally generated stuff, even out on patrols, like more of enemies and bosses just showing up in random spots or things like that. And yes, it could probably get broken pretty easily. I could see like some boss being like spawning on top of some weird spot that you can't really get to or whatever. But like the idea is at least a seed in my mind of the game would feel more lively if it was changing more, even in like patrol areas and without them having to like actually code something in. I don't know how they can do that, but I would love to see that something like that.
Yeah, it's who knows.
All right, any other last minute thoughts on that?
I can think of.
Up. What's that?
Not that I can think of.
No worries. All right. Well, good discussion this evening. I need to write to Cafe Rio because they delivered a dinner to me right before and they gave me my wrong item. So
They failed.
it's okay. I still ate it, but
I bet you
there's
did.
a money difference based on what they actually gave me. So need to at least complain a little bit. All right. Well, thanks for joining. Anything interesting coming up, Kato, or where people can find you?
Nothing interesting coming up. Just waiting. We're playing the waiting game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find Kato all the places.
All the places. Same as it's always been in the Discord.
Same as it's always been. We're in so many Discords, all of us. Yep.
Everywhere.
I didn't
and
have
anywhere.
Rhombus on tonight, but check out, of course, DPS Podcast as usual. And Space Mafia Crew. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Sam, what's new?
Discord, nothing new. That is all.
Wow. Short and sweet.
What about something like Kingsley, Mexican Cafe Rio, Food Eating Mac? Take us out.
I mean, that is pretty good because the other thing you could have come up with is Guardian. Take us out.
Oh, Guardian 8904, take us out.
Hey, everyone. This is Guardian 8902 coming to you
There it
live.
is.
And thanks for listening to our podcast. If you want to check us out more, you can check out our lovely website at theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Hopefully, Guardian 8902 will soon be Kingsley Mac again. But until then, we will catch you all again next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Later.